Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Mouse, host of the Shout Out Show, the SOS. Well, today is Friday Funnies, and today I thought it would be fun, if you will, to look at the advent and the propagation and the evolution of what we all call the big lie. Now, many of you thinking, preach, the big lie is politics. It is an election fraud. It is voters being turned away. It is votes not being counted. You know what? People, I often say, sometimes like in comedy, the comedy comes from the fact that people think they got away with something in plain sight, and they didn't. And it's left for us to decipher what these people are thinking. Per se, if you saw the guy from mypillow.com, and I didn't pull the video up, but if you see his interview on CNN, you know this guy's an absolute raving lunatic with absolutely no anchors in society. You've seen all the players, the MyPillow.com guy, Majorie Green, Congresswoman. You've seen all of these people. You've seen people with potential charges for sex trafficking still in Congress thinking that they have our confidence, if you will. You've seen a man tell you, I like stupid people, and stupid people go, that's our guy. Well, here's the problem, brothers and sisters. They never ever come back to us. The people who sit on the sidelines, not sidelines, but they think they're the sidelines, but we're in observation booths, if you will. We're looking at the chaos unfold. And when I say look at the chaos unfold, I mean, it connects, brothers and sisters. I just want you to know this type of behavior is not new. Every once in a while, there's a space, if you will, a synapse, if you will, where people will just act a damn fool. And we have to go through phases of we can't believe they're acting a damn fool. They're still acting a damn fool and say we cannot take it anymore. Now, I think we're at the phase of we can't believe they're still acting a fool. And it's going to move to that hard space, brothers and sisters, or we're not going to take it anymore. That being said, I thought it'd be funny to break it down in terms of a Black perspective and a Muslim perspective about the big lie. Because the big lie always affects the people who don't tell it, always affect the people who don't come up with the lie. In fact, we're to a point where the big lie can only be told with other people who are receptive to lying. Gosh, I wish we had some of our elderly OGs just being able to sit in a press conference back in the day and talk to these people about the lies that they put out. Now, I may be asking a whole lot, but I'm not asking a whole lot. I'm asking maybe that we have a conversation right now and we have a consensus. Some of the things I'm going to talk about today, you may say, preach, that's cruel. And you may be right. And the only reason it's cruel is because it's truthful. And per se, the only reason it's funny is why? Because they knew better. There's a thing about funny and a thing about compassion is a very, very fine line. And in that, between the compassion and the funny is common sense. And when you get over one side or the other side of it, you know what? People are not as compassionate anymore. In fact, I miss the old days when if an elder told you not to do something, you did it something anyway, you fell out and hurt yourself. Ain't nobody cry for you. Ain't nobody worried about you. What did they say? I told you. And we need to get back to the days of parenting. I told you. In the days of holding our politicians responsible, I told you. If you wanted me to give you a list of politicians I respect these days, it's going to be a very short list. If you really want me to look at this thing about the big lie, I'm going to give it to you part and parcel. I am not going to spare for anybody what this thing is about. And I hope you understand that every once in a while you have to go here. Now, hopefully this presentation will be void of any profanity, anything like that. But I'm going to give it to you the way it was given to me. See, when I say it's given to me, it was given to me two ways. Number one, I'm not going to repeat it again. And number two, this is the game. Understand whether you want to play it or not. For me, and like many other people out in the audience, we don't play the game. Why? Because when you play games, you have to have a certain persona, if you will. See, people who play games don't like to lose. They don't like to lose. And so when you see them lose, it's almost like Little League back in the day when the team lost and they didn't want to shake the other team's hand. We talked about good sportsmanship. They ain't care nothing about good sportsmanship unless they won. So all you got now is a bunch of old, out of date, irrelevant, mostly white, wannabe people revisiting their Little League days. Oh, he wasn't out at first. He was safe. Oh, he wasn't out at home. He was safe. That wasn't a ball. That was a strike. And all of these mini arguments that we find ourselves engaged in, they come back from kids who couldn't get the message that you lost, that you're not the best. And the reason you're not the best is because you don't invest in yourself. You, if you're watching, the people I'm talking about, you are the epitome of folks who couldn't make it in high school. You weren't much in college. And when you got to your job, people didn't think highly of you. And you thought the only way you could win is that you make somebody lose, as opposed to earning it. Going out there, risking it, and putting on the line. So we're going to talk about these folks because I have some very vivid memories of people, and I'm going to be bringing them up. Let's get the show started. It's the SOS Preacher Mars talking about the big lie. Let's roll. All right, everybody, we are back. I want to give some shout outs. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Sister Ree. I hope you're feeling better. Sister Ree must be feeling better. She sent some baked spaghetti over. I just wanted to throw that out. I won't be sharing. That's number one. Number two, we want to give a shout out to Miss Eleanor, who we know she had a fall and she was recovering, but it seemed like the damage is a little bit more extensive to her leg. So we are wishing her and sending her hugs and kisses and duas that her examination shows no more extensive damage, but there is some damage there. So we're going to have to put our arms around her. I hope she's doing well. And Brother Kendrick. Brother Kendrick is in the hospital at George Washington University trying to get that. You know, I tell folks, man, your health is your wealth. That's a young man, good brother, you know, who's struggled with diabetes for quite a long time. But, you know, he tells me all the time, he reminds me, said, man, you know, you have to be very, very clear about your health. All right. And we will make sure all of those. And if you have anybody in your family or your friendship circles that you just want to shout out, you know, let's do it. You put it in the box, we'll put them up, because I believe that these things are really, really important. You know, it's funny how I used to ask my eldest, how you doing? I would ask my grandmother, how you were doing? I said, Grandma, how you feel today? And she say, fair to middling. Which is a South Carolina Southern term. So I'm fair to middling. I'm all right. I'm still here. And, you know, the simplicity of it made me laugh, but it also made me appreciate the humility. And not so much that they're there, but really understanding what it took to get there. All right. So we're going to shout out all those folks. I'm going to shout out all our OGs, all our pioneers, all our moms, all our dads. We want to make sure that we're doing that. So let me shout out people in the comment section real quick. I normally go through people who are coming on the show for the first time. Here's the thing. Just stick around. You'll figure it out. I normally go through a long thing. Just figure it out. We have a long show today. It's not even a long show. It's relatively short. So we're gonna give a shout out to Sister Reed. Thank goodness that you're feeling great, and that recovery is in place. Big shout out to Brother Derek and Juan. Next up, we got, of course, we got Sister Santiago, who's blessing us with her presence on the show. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak to you. Yes, thanks. And we want you to have a great weekend too. My main man, Altaf Rashid, our Canadian ambassador to the show, Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down, making sure the quality of the show is good on the U.S. side of the border and the Canadian side of the border. Appreciate you, homie. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we got Mama Mars tuning in, better known as Mama Son. She says, good day to the SOS family. That's right, Mom. Get your comments up early. My mom likes to wait till the end and put in her comments, then realize that she's not that good with the computer. But it's all right. We get those comments in as much as we can. And we got Brother Naseem Khan. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. Brother Naseem, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing some time with us. I think you got some information with us. We're going to put that out as well. I'm looking here, and next up we got. That's right. Brother Naseem Khan wants everybody to know that you can get more information about him and what he's doing at facebook.com/uctv.org. Again, that's facebook.com/uctv. I'm sorry, .blog. I said org. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it one more time, Naseem. That is www.facebook.com/uctv.blog. All right, man. We got you in there. All the way from the UK, man. Thank you so much, bro. We get a lot of love from the UK, man. We got to check on Sister Rabina, make sure she's not in jail. She might need some bail money. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Satana working the back, make sure everything is cool. We appreciate you. And she says, healing blessings to all. Healing blessings to all. I appreciate it. There you go. So the Black and Muslim perspective on the big lie. I want you to know something, brothers and sisters. That whether you're Black, whether you're Muslim, if you're underclass or you're not part of the beneficiaries of white supremacy, you will be lied to from the day you were born to the day you die. That's the way a lie works. That's the way a conspiracy works. But I'm not saying that the whole thing is a lie. I'm not saying the whole thing is a lie. I'm saying that the foundation of it is a lie, and it just filters out to everything else. The big lie for us, brothers and sisters, in this particular time of the world, and this specific aspect of the world, is that there's a power change. There is a power shift, if you will, that's going about. And people think that it's minority people of colors that who are going to be running the United States. No. We won't be running the United States because we hold out, brothers and sisters, that these people will stop lying. Let me tell you where I grew up and how I grew up. I grew up Black and converted to Islam. Let me tell you what Black means when you tell a lie. When you tell a lie and you Black to a Black mom, a Black dad, or Black grandma, it means that you are perfectly comfortable meeting Jesus. It means that if you're a Muslim, you are in a rush to get to paradise. When they ask you questions, they already know the answer. They knew the answer. They knew you were going to do it. When your mom said, don't run in the house, why did she say that? Because you've been running in the house. When your dad said, don't bring no babies around here, he knew you were doing things that could bring babies around the house. Your father said, when you're 17, you ain't gonna sit around here, you're gonna get a job. Why? Because he saw you at 16 not trying to work. So there's a culture difference. Because the people who do the big lie understand that they must lie to one another. I was with a group of people one time, and the guy came up to me, and I don't know what he was trying to prove, But he started a story, brothers and sisters, and he wanted to borrow some money. Now, I said, brother, right up front, I don't really have any money on me. Times are tight. He said, no, don't worry about it. He said, that's not why I'm telling you this. I'm just sharing my thoughts and what I'm going through. That right there was a lie. And he started lying to the point where people could not look at him. We had to look at him at an angle. Like he was, we had to look this way and that way. I actually faked the sneeze to keep from laughing in his face. I was like, that's the way my sneeze sounded. He said, brother, you laughing at me? I said, no, it's allergies. I'm lying right back. And after about 10 minutes, an elder walked up. Now, I knew how this was going to go. 2 seconds into what he was saying, she said, boy, stop lying. You know why elders tell you why to stop lying? Because time is valuable. They don't have time for you to be pulling their leg and stuff like that. You know, that's one thing we miss. You know, we miss that bluntness because everybody's so sensitive. And the proliferation of lies is out there because people don't know how to say what's on their heart. You know, I remember being on a porch with my granddaddy one time, and there was a kid in the neighborhood who I knew. And this particular kid had tried to rob the liquor store at the bottom of the hill 2 or 3 times. Got caught all 3 times, had to go to juvenile correction. And I knew him, but I didn't really know him. And I knew him, you know, from just being out, you know, high school, being sports. And I saw him, and the boy said, hey, Moss. And my grandfather said, do you know him? I said, I don't. I said, hey, granddad, you know, I get around. I'm popular. I said, but I don't think I know. He said, Moss, what's up, man? He said, the boy didn't seem to know your name. And I didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want my granddaddy to know that I associated with a man who was a failed bank robber 3 times in a row. Grandfather called him over, said, come over here, boy. And I'm trying to look the kid over like, don't do it. Don't do it. My grandfather, you know that look you give people like, don't do it. Kid came over. He said, you're so-and-so's boy, because every elder knows every other, the grandchildren, the children, whatever. He said, yeah. He said, didn't you try to rob that liquor store down there? He said, yeah. Grandfather said, you tried a couple times there. He said, yeah. He said, well, son, you got caught all 3 times, and here's where the truth comes. He goes, maybe bank robbery. He said, maybe robbery ain't your thing. And the boy said, no. I said, this is the dumbest man in the world. I said, don't make it the manhood because you're going to be the dumbest man in the world. I tried to look him off as to say, hey, man, this is my grandfather. I have to stay here. You can leave anytime you want to. And the boy tried to tell my grandfather why he was trying to rob the liquor store. Why? I wanted to say he's in his 70s. There ain't nothing you're going to say that's going to change his mind. Everything you tell this man is a lie against you and God to him. And my grandfather stopped him. He said, listen, boy, from what you tell me, let me give you some very, very important advice. He said, I want you to know, first of all, you're going to be dumb a long time. The truth, brothers and sisters, is that he was dumb a long time. And when he went to prison, I didn't feel bad. I said, he's probably in the best place he can be right now because he doesn't need to be on the street, hurting people, harming people until he gets his mind right. Now, let me, guys, give you this whole thing about politics. Every black person, every Muslim, everybody's had to struggle to get rights in this country knows that what's coming from the politician is a lie. It is the hoop. Listen, why you? There's a wonderful quote from Imam Muhammad. He says, if they don't treat you right, how can they teach you right? And the killer part, it can be flipped. You know, if they don't treat you right, they can't teach you right. They don't treat you right, they can't teach you right. I mean, it's this logic that we seem to be overstating here, and I don't want to make it simple, brothers and sisters, because they count on us. They count on us, brothers and sisters, and here's the killer part, to do the right thing. Oh, I hate that. That's the only thing about being Muslim, brothers and sisters, doing the right thing. Oh, if I could just take a 10-minute trip back to Christianity and be a Jew for 11 minutes, I would, or atheist, I would treat them the way they need to be treated. I would take I would take a sabbatical from my religion for just 17 minutes to let them know exactly what. I mean, look at all the players, brothers and sisters. They're just like crack addicts, except they didn't take the crack. Anybody heard from Rudy Giuliani? This is a white man that can't tell the difference between a Four Seasons hotel and a Four Seasons landscaping place. And instead of saying, I made a mistake, they put the thing up and had the press conference at the Four Seasons. Rudy, stop lying. Everything about him was a lie. The boy had on hair color. Let me tell y'all something too. I'm going to tell some of you brothers this. Listen here. When you die, you lie. When you die, you lie. A sister, a very good friend of mine, told me that the reason for dying, Islamically, is that you would dye your hair to look younger. So when you went into war, you might intimidate somebody. I've been going around some of these masjids. What wars are you brothers still fighting? Is it the war on drugs? The war against illiteracy? Is it the war of the world? And here's the thing too. If you dye your hair black, but your nose hair is white, look like ash coming out of a chimney, you might want to just touch that up or spread it over a mustache or something like that. Okay. We got some people here. I want to give some shout outs. We got some people, Satana. What's going on, Brother Soccer? How are you? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the SOS Shout Out Show. I do believe you are a rookie, my friend. So welcome to our platform. We hope that we get to see you again. And we also have brothers, sisters, my brother JT, Johnny L. Thomas. JT know what I'm talking about. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Good to see you. A war in the streets. There you go. So, I mean, you start looking at the players, brothers and sisters, who are out here speaking on behalf of other politicians, My whole thing now, and I want to emphasize this, when we talk about the big lie. Here's why it's dangerous. It's because people think that they're getting status off of propagating a lie. That they're getting status off of propagating a lie. I don't even know whatever happened to the GOP and the Republican Party after Trump, because everybody figured I could get something telling a lie. Only in America can you run a political party off a lie. Anywhere else, brothers and sisters, in the judicial system, telling a lie will get you time in prison. Think about justice. Think about the justice system here. And work with me. What did it say about the justice system? When you go to court, you have a chance. The judge says, how do you plead? Look at the balance. If you lie and you say not guilty, all that proceeding is about is trying to bear out how much you lied. Not if you lied, but how much, to what degree did you lie? Now take the flip. If they came in and I killed a whole football team of people, and they said, Mr. Moss, we discovered you with guns and machetes and all of that. How do you plead? And I go, innocent, Your Honor. Everybody in the courtroom is going, oh man, that Negro lying. He tried to kill me. How? But you have to go through that process. Now think about this. This is gonna blow your mind. Before the 60s and the Voter Rights Act, do you imagine how many people who were innocent said I was innocent, but the system lied against them and they wound up doing time. Case in point, there's a guy, white guy, I believe. Satana, that's in this article about this mental health brother. Okay. I'm going to tell y'all about the system. Now, this is not even politics, but I'm going to tell you how people lie. And the system allows them to lie. This was a guy who was in Hawaii. Now, he was homeless, okay? The guy was homeless. Now, that's no big deal, but check this part out. He was homeless. He was sleeping on the street. The police in Hawaii come to him and say, you can't sleep on the street. They asked him for his information. He gave him his name, his social security number, ID. The cop did not look at it. The cop said, no, you look like another guy who is wanted on violations for crimes. And they took this guy who was not that person. They arrested him. And the more he kept trying to tell them the truth, brothers and sisters, they said, oh, wait a minute. The guy that we're looking for also has a history of mental illness. So they took this guy who did have a history of mental illness, but they took this guy, put him in a mental health institution for 2 years. They drugged him up. They gave him all kind of medicine, large doses of medicine. I mean, you name it. This guy was catatonic because of the medicine. His own public defender didn't do his homework. His own public defender didn't say, well, what's your name? What's your social security number? What's your last name, address? What's a family member? They did none of that. They didn't do it. The police didn't do it. The cops didn't do it. The mental health facility. One doctor said, well, you know, he sounds pretty convincing, did the homework, and the whole thing fell apart. So the lie, brothers and sisters, is not the lie that's been told. It's the system that allows it to maintain itself. I'm going to tell y'all something. There's a difference between telling a tale, you know, guys on the corner, and then there's that effort that you are seriously trying to mislead people. Like there's an agenda to every word that comes out of your mouth to make sure that these people at some point in time are disadvantaged by what you say. Yeah, and the big lie is not Trump and election fraud and The big lie is these people who have put themselves on the pedestal that they have this amazing character. Given an opportunity to chuck the character and be the devils they are, they're going to do it every time. And the big lie to us is we believe that somewhere along the line, after they've done it time and time again, they're going to have a come to Jesus moment and do the right thing. Otto says, I've seen a lot of politicians saying when they get caught in a lie, they didn't mean what they said. Actions don't lie. I know it sounds like a pun. Actions don't lie. You know, my mom asked me one time, came in late. You know, when you 15, 16, you let you hang out late, but you still got to be home at a certain time. If you coming in after the street lights come on, that has to be negotiated. And one time I'm hanging out with my guys and, you know, little girls in the neighborhood, we joking and laughing, And I look up and I'm like, ooh, oh, snap. I'm overdue. I run home and everybody running home. Like, what time? Because we all had the same time. We all running home. And I woke up the next morning. You know how you have breakfast with your parents? And my dad looked up and said, yeah, good time last night? I said, yeah. He said, all right. I thought you did. I said, oh, this is set up. My mom said, yeah, we ain't here. We were asleep when you came in. Look at this one. We were asleep when you came in. Can you see the jaws? See right here? They just wait for me to stick my head in it, but right? They said we fell asleep around 10:30. They ain't fall asleep around 10:30. So what time did you come in? I thought about it and I said, what time did you see me come in? I said, because every time he saw me come in, that was the time I came in. And it was simple. What time were you supposed to be in? I told him, what time did you come in? I ain't coming in that time. Done deal. Now, here's the thing that I want us to remember when I get up, before we get out of here. And you can get to your Fridays. I want everybody to enjoy their Fridays. What happens when you remove the core value of truth? What happens when the rewards of a lie seem to be greater than the truth? Is it a breakdown of moral character? Is it a breakdown of social components in moral? I don't know. I don't know. But as a believer and a citizen, it pains me to watch these people go through these machinations. I mean, I don't want to sound bad, but I mean, the white supremacy system is churning out losers. Losers. Like, it's not even fun to watch anymore. It's not creative. It's not engaging. It's not surprising. Every time they open their mouth, I'm like, it's a lie. You know the old joke? Old folks say, that boy lying. How you know? His lips are moving. Yeah, that's the same thing I do when I watch CNN and Fox and MSNBC, and I see people who have bad character and made bad decisions their whole life get up on camera or in front of you, brothers and sisters, and make the case that somehow they have this moral center, not only to tell the truth, wink, wink, but to tell you your truth. And that's the big lie. Hashtag cancel the big lie. That's the SOS show, brothers and sisters. I'm Preacher Moss. Have an outstanding weekend. We might see you Saturday. We might see you Sunday. But if we don't see you till Monday, God bless. Have a wonderful time. Let's get to our sponsors. Let's give a call. Let's give a shout out to www.befinanciallyindependent.com. Again, that's www.befinanciallyindependent.com. I want to say that ship is being steered by Maxine B. Cade, Esquire. Brothers and sisters, get your paperwork, get your bag right. Get your bag right. You talk about finances, financial literacy, and stuff like that. I'm going to tell y'all something. If you're holding on to money, you're not doing something with it, you're losing money. It's facts. If you don't have your money in a money system where the money works to make more money, you're losing money. Plain and simple. Now, I'm not saying it's an easy game, but I'm saying it's a game that you got to play, unfortunately. So call that number, 1-888-496-6845. Again, that's 1-888-496-6845. And we want to quickly give a shout out to Bayan Islamic Graduate School. Hopefully we're going to have the president of Bayan on our platform while he's visiting, making his routes around the country to fundraise and spread the good word and spread the information about Bayan Islamic Graduate School. So if you're interested in Bayan Islamic Graduate School, go to bayanonline.org. Again, that's bayanonline.org. That's our show. I'm Preacher Mars. This is SOS. Stay blessed. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yo, assalamu alaikum. I'm Preacher Moss, comedian extraordinaire, but I like to add a new title to my name. I'm Professor Preacher Moss. You know why? Because I just graduated. Wait a minute, let me get this out of here. This is it. Okay. I'm Professor Preacher Moss, and it's come through the courtesy and the blessing of the Muhammad Ali Scholarship, which came through Bayan Islamic Graduate School. Now, listen, I know a lot of you people are thinking, can I do it? Yes, you can do it. This is the part where I'm supposed to say it's easy. It's not easy. Listen, it was easy to get this degree. Trump would be a mufti. I digress. Listen, though, for you brothers and sisters that are interested, go to bayanonline.org, and you could be like me. Put yourself in the picture for Islamic education. Wait a minute, there's a picture right there. Sound like them, everybody. Take care. Preach them off.